out copies of the girls' CDs.
Yeah, the songs that I would say were political are The Stranger is about wanting to be around your own kind of people, you know, rather than like being surrounded by people of other ethnicities and cultures. You want, here's the girl's CD, I'll give you a copy, you can listen to it for yourself and make a decision.
And I'm thinking to myself, not so much what I've seen, how many people in here really know what the background.
The atmosphere suddenly changed. The locals and the girls were getting uncomfortable.
Listen to that.
So what I saw
Her daughters.
the ones that were on TV, no, the ones I saw were all, they were against,
Okay, you guys need to stop. You need to stop. I don't know what it's all about. You need to stop. Let me explain something to you just real quick. Okay, nothing against your girls, but I will not support anything that has to do with racism or white supremacy. We're not white supremacists. Anything to do with that. Well, we're not white supremacists. Okay, then what are you about? We're separatists and we're white pride. Okay, out.
this is
Out of my bar. It's not okay to be out of my bar. I'm not in this bar. We're equal here. Out of my bar. Goodbye.
It didn't take the owner of the bar long to react. Not surprisingly, she didn't want to be any part of April's white pride propaganda.
People are completely intolerant. They will not allow white people to be proud of who
Mom,
they are.
just
That's just the way it is. It's just a fact.
Well, we had fun while it lasted.
Well, they loved it until they found out who you were.
We had fun.
The media is so biased against white people and against white pride people and people who want to stand up for their race, white nationalists, that they have maligned us so badly that even rednecks in a bar are scared shitless. They have completely just basically castrated the white race. The media has. They've got everybody so damn afraid to say anything. And there's only a few people that have the guts to stand up and do anything. You know, and I'll be real honest, James. You know, I want to trust you, but there's a really big part of me that thinks that you were just waiting for us to show up so that they could come out and scream at my little girls and hurt my little girls. I don't want to think that of you, but that's what I think.
April was sounding paranoid. She'd come face to face with how real Californians feel about her family, and now she was blaming it on me. She decided to move the twins out of the state for a fresh start in Montana. I had no more contact with them for another 6 months. Then, in the new year, April invited me to visit.
Hello. Hey. How are you?
Fine.
Good.
April was much more relaxed than the last time I saw her in California. The move to Montana seemed to be working out well.
There are a few black people in town, but there's not very many. And the girls' school, I think, is 98% white. It's a small town, and the crime rate's low, and it's a pretty little town. I mean, there's just some really cute little houses, and even there's not really even a bad part of town. I mean, I don't know, it's just a cute town.
But the local news station told a very different story.
Well, good evening. In our top story tonight, a group of Kalispell residents protest a new white separatist family in their neighborhood.
The Gaede family moved to the town from California last month. They were recently profiled on the national television for their pro-white activism.
Montana was supposed to bring calm to the troubled lives of April and her daughters, but somehow they brought trouble to Montana.
We didn't move up here and plan to do any activism. I mean, even people who were very few people, except very, very close friends, even knew where the town we were living. So for the girls' sake, I feel pretty bad for them.
this busybody gal decided to print up flyers that say no hate here on one side and have a bunch of misquoted information on the other, and they went door to door handing out these flyers warning the neighbors about me.
Now the FBI are involved.
We've had quite a few death threats, and
So there were death threats to you from people in Kalispell?
yeah. To be really honest, it kind of is like a, it's like somebody has pinned a great big huge medal on me by having them attack me. I mean, it means that I must be doing something effective, and obviously I must be doing something right. Let's see. This is our living room.
I wondered if the girls had got their way about the band and wound down its activities. There didn't seem to be any trace of Prussian Blue in the family home. But underground, in the basement, it was getting bigger all the time.
I have a lot of stuff that I put up on the walls because
April talked me through several new lines of merchandise.
we had these mouse pads made, and this one says Prussian Blue on it, and then this one, who's that? That's Dresden, yeah. These are the girls' T-shirts, the girls' Prussian Blue T-shirts that we're selling. These are White Pride. They say White Pride on them. Yeah. See, these say White Pride.
White Pride.
Uh-huh.
Looking after the girls and their interests is currently April's full-time job.
Hey, wait, you want a bracelet? And this is where our computer setup is, and I just, this is where I do my radio show, and basically I just do an hour show, and sometimes I play music, and then I talk, and sometimes I have some people call in, and I did a radio show where I had my dad call in, and I've had a couple other people call in.
April seemed to have left none of her activism behind in California, and the protest against her and the twins was getting louder and louder.
April Gaede may be the latest high-profile white supremacist to move to Montana, but she's not the first. Unfortunately, she's probably not the last.
Hello, this is April Gaede on Stormfront Radio, here in my basement. I have a couple stories I wanted to talk about. This young girl decided to be nice and have a few beers with these Mexican migrants, and they almost killed her.
So it's time for us, as the rest of Montana, it's time for you as the rest of Kalispell, to find your voice and find out what you want to do. And again, thank you all for coming.
The battle lines were clear. April versus the rest of Montana. Now they're back in school. It's not a fight that the twins seem to want anything more to do with.
There's some songs that we wish we didn't sing because now we disagree with it. Like concerts that we wish we never went to because of sometimes the reputation it gives. But you know, people change what they view. I wouldn't even consider myself like a white nationalist, like maybe my mom. But I think I'm like below that, you know, like not as extreme anymore. This whole issue has kind of made me smarter about stuff, you know, you just have to think about stuff more before you say it and before you do it. And it's kind of funny because, like, for Martin Luther King Day and World History, we did a thing about, like, how the white man was beating up the black man. And I felt guilty for some reason because of all the things that people have accused me of hating black people or of worshipping Hitler. I feel like guilty for something that I haven't even done.
Listening to the girls, it sounded like their hardcore public image had become a charade performed for the sake of their mum. I was worried that keeping this up could only make them more unhappy.
He wants it signed to Richie with 2 E's like that, okay?
This is to Andrew.
So we send out, you know, bags full like this 2 or 3 times a week.
The next day when I went to call, things were very tense. April had the twins signing copies of their CDs. Lynx in particular didn't seem at all happy about it.
Lynxie, could you come here, please?
I don't want to go outside.
Lynx, you're making yourself look really bad in there. I'm just telling you, you're this whiny. And
April had found out what the girls had said to me the night before.
just try to put on a happy face and be nice. They're only going to be here for another hour, and then you can act like as much of a cunt as you want for the rest of the night, okay?
A major storm was brewing.
So just be aware that you're on camera, okay? Please. So behave yourself.